sure enough, you know what they say, as one door closes, another one opens. And it is truly the case here for Henry Cavill, as I literally hours ago made a video discussing my thoughts about Henry not coming back as Superman, as Clark Kent, that we have known him so well in this role, and how he will not be reprising that. But as soon as we heard that news, I think maybe within a span of 24 hours, we are now getting confirmation from not only Henry himself, but Amazon Studios and the Warhammer community page that the Warhammer universe will be coming to the big screen or the small screen, whether that is in a TV show or a movie. We're not really sure yet, but there has been confirmation by all three entities that the Warhammer 40k universe is in full effect, led by none other than Henry Cavill himself as an executive producer. But let's go ahead and check out first the Instagram post that was posted by Henry I think this is, 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, and it almost already has over 1 million likes. This is from people who probably don't know anything about the Warhammer universe. I don't know if you guys know, but here on this channel, we do Warhammer build streams, we do Warhammer lore, videos and stuff, and unboxings. And so to see that the Warhammer community is going to be led by such an individual, such reverence for lore, for source material, such respect for fans, and such humility, I couldn't ask for anyone better to lead this project than Henry himself. He says, "For 30 years I have dreamt of seeing a Warhammer universe in live action. Now after 22 years of experience in this industry, I finally feel that I have the skill and expertise to guide a Warhammer cinematic universe into life. Partnering with Natalie Viscuso at Vertigo has been a blessing beyond words. Without her, we may not have found the perfect home at Amazon. And having a home like Amazon will give us the freedom to be true to the massive scope of Warhammer. To all of you Warhammer fans out there, I promise to respect this IP that we love. I promise to bring you something familiar, and I endeavor to bring you something fantastic that is, as of yet, unseen. Our first steps are to find our filmmaker, creator, writer. Watch this space, my friends, for the Emperor." Incredible news from Henry, dropping this mere moments after we are hearing the news of him stepping out or being told to step down as Superman. Now let's take an official look at the article that was posted on the Warhammer community. I received this email at 4:30 this morning, California time, and I knew I just had to do a video because, as someone who has been building the models and reading the books since I think I was 12 years old when I started building my first models. This is unprecedented news. So the Warhammer community page says, "Here's one heck of a surprise gift for all Warhammer fans, and it's not even Christmas yet. Games Workshop and Amazon Studios are working together to bring the Warhammer 40k universe to screens, big and small alike. And there's more. One of Warhammer's most famous superfans, Henry Cavill, well known for pointing out chandeliers that look like the Blackstone fortresses, is on board too. He's bringing his lore expertise to the mantle of executive producer and his sword arm to the starring role." Then we get a few other quotes here, basically talking about Amazon Studios, what they, what they've done in the past, how much of an honor it is to have Henry on board. This is where we get the quote from Henry himself. He says, "I have loved Warhammer since I was a boy, making this moment truly special for me. The opportunity to shepherd this cinematic universe from its inception is quite the honor and the responsibility. I couldn't be more grateful for all the hard work put in by Vertigo, Amazon, and Games Workshop to make this happen, one step closer to making a nigh-on lifelong dream come true." Once again, the humility and the reverence is beautiful. Now, here's something from Jennifer Salke, and I believe this is her quote here, where she says, Warhammer 40k has captured the imagination of fans of all ages from all walks of life and all over the world. We are excited to work with Henry, Vertigo, and Games Workshop and Amazon Entertainment on this brilliant immersive franchise for our global customers to experience for years to come. So the article itself doesn't go into specifics in terms of, are we going to do, post 41st millennium? Are we going to do Horus Heresy era Space Marines? Are we going to follow more of the Imperium or the Inquisition? Are we going to do, the Dan Abnett run, which is so well known? Eisenhorn. Is Henry Cavill going to be playing this, an Emperor figure? Is he going to be playing a Space Marine? We have zero clue right now. We don't even know if we're going to see Space Marines at this point, but we do know that this is coming to fruition and the wheels are moving. Here's my thoughts, though. Here are my thoughts, and this is from a guy who won't say that he knows every bit of lore and every bit of, this is from me as a avid Warhammer fan who knows the specifics, the ins and outs of different factions such as Black Templars and Space Wolves. Those are my tabletop armies that I've played before and that I build and collect. But I will say this is exciting. It's also nerve-wracking, especially what we got from the Rings of Power headed by Jennifer Sulky, which we get in this article, as she says, whoa, we're excited about having Henry come on. We're excited for the Warhammer universe. But if Jennifer Sulky has any part in this, I am nervous. I'm not kidding, and I'm not gonna try and BS you guys. I'm nervous if that's the case, because we all know what happened with Rings of Power. We all know the hiding of reviews, the constant fan attacks from the studios. It was not a good look for Amazon. So for them to take on this Warhammer universe, which arguably has even more has a larger fan base and even more fans that are completely immersed within the lore and that hold the lore as almost sacred script, there needs to be someone, and I'm hoping that it's going to be Henry, to put the foot down and say, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to proceed. We cannot do this universe justice if we don't allow for the lore to be enacted through the film. Now, there are always going to be adaptations. We know this through the Peter Jackson films, through the Marvel films, but with what Amazon has produced in the past with the Rings of Power and $1 billion show, I'm not convinced that they can take the Warhammer universe to where it needs to be. I am convinced and I am confident that Henry can do that. And that's why he has my backing. He has my support in this. The dude knows his Warhammer. He also knows the fans. And I know that he is going to do everything in his power to make this come to fruition. And if he sees that it's not going to be accurate, or if he sees that it's not going to hold reverence towards the source material, he's going to step out, or he's going to find someone else to do it. That's my take on this. My other worry, and like I said, these are just initial responses. This is just my initial take. Things can change over time. I may feel a bit more confident as we get closer. But my other response here, and my other thought process, is that this could be gone in a heartbeat. This could be gone tomorrow. I mean, we saw how quickly the news of Henry Cavill not reprising the role as Superman came to be. We saw how quickly that happened when literally months before, we were all excited for him to come back in the cinematic universe for DC. So having this, it could be lost in a day. The news changes so quickly that we may not see this come to fruition for another few years, half decade. Who knows? Who honestly knows? Especially because Amazon is saying that it's going to take them 2 years to make the next Rings of Power Season 2. So if it's going to take them 2 years to make a Rings of Power Season 2, how long is it going to take to create a Warhammer universe, especially because in the article it talks about them looking for a director and a writer, seeing as that Henry Cavill is going to be executive producer. So I don't think this is going to be anytime soon. We may be getting news along the way, but this is going to take a while. The other thing is that Space Marines, Demons of Chaos, the Imperium, the 41st Millennium in general, you have to consider how large the scope of this is, and the type of CGI, the type of costuming, the type of props, the type of actors needed to portray this universe will not be easy. This is going to take millions to billions of dollars and hours, days, weeks, months, years of planning, progress, understanding the characters, understanding the stories, and putting that onto the screen. This is no easy task. If any universe is going to be some of the most difficult, it's going to be Warhammer. And that's me coming from a superhero background of comic books and stuff, and working and coming into the Warhammer community later on when I was, younger teens. This is almost more difficult to portray on a big screen because of all the different moving parts. The CG alone is out of our reach right now. I feel like the CG continually needs to get better in order for us to put a full Space Marine on the screen and have it look good. I know we've seen it done with Iron Man, but we're talking about superhuman, genetically modified, 7-foot tall, monstrous soldiers, Marines, fighting in the 41st Millennium against aliens, chaos demons, warp creatures. This is no easy task. And so I don't know if Amazon is up for it, and I don't know if where we are in 2020, if we are up for it as an entertainment industry. Are we ready to put onto screen this universe that is so heavily involved in the lore, in the action, in the raw just masculinity of what these Space Marines portray, if that is what we're going to see, if we're going to get a story about that, or if we're going to be looking more into demon hunters, or there are so many different ways that this could go. Lots of questions, but as of right now, these are the facts. This is the news that we're getting. We're getting the confirmation from Henry. We're getting the confirmation from Amazon, and we're getting it from Warhammer, which is huge because if you guys know Warhammer, they are very picky with their. I'll say picky with their IPs. They do not lease those out on a regular basis. They are very protective of their IP, almost to a fault, almost to we're gonna sue you if you play a poster, if you have a poster, or if you play a preview of a Warhammer game. They're very, very stringent when it comes to leasing out their IP, which is why this is also big news, because they would not just do this willy-nilly. All in all, I'm going to support Henry in whatever he does. In my last video I mentioned, he has my full support. The dude knows what he's doing in terms of lore, fantasy, sci-fi. In the geek community, he's there. He's on the ground, boots on the ground. He knows what's going on, and I trust in his decisions moving forward. My hesitation comes into play when Amazon gets a hold of this. That's where I have hesitation, and that's where we will find out coming within the next few years what happens. So what do you guys think? Is this something that you are looking forward to seeing? Do you know anything about the Warhammer universe? And would you guys like me to do more videos about Warhammer related content as news continues to come out of this new universe that we may see? So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.